See, that provides merit to the claw, because you hold on and you shoot a vital part.
Conversely, it's a ranged weapon. You don't have to hold on to a thing with a ranged weapon. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are here with episode 13 of Gundam seed, Stars Falling in Space. Why don't you go ahead and do a comment response for us though, Justin, first thing we got.
Absolutely, from Zero Haria, and the episode is its name, Gundam, because there's an exclamation mark at the end. On slight defense of the daggers, as much as I prefer beam sabers, the units were equipped with phase shift armor, which has a time to operate. Good to know. If the sabers run on the same battery, the mobile suit essentially runs out of viable weapons, while its defenses and maneuver down. Having a spare set of daggers that don't rely on mobile suit batteries is a decent backup plan, as a weapon like the Jin's a lot heavier and can impact the performance of the machine, particularly in the atmosphere. Remember, these units were designed to operate both on Earth and in space. That makes perfect sense. As I said, if a dagger is there as a side backup, phenomenal. If you're dealing with a dagger as your primary, you better be mobile as a mother.
Well, I think remember this comes from the first two episodes. So if you've changed your mind on the whole dagger thing, that has not yet reached the via YouTube.
Fair enough. And I do not accurately recall what I said in that episode. So.
You were making fun of him. That's fine though. I made fun of a lot of shit in the opening Gundams too. People, some people really hated how much we joked about Bad Girl's name, but you know what? It's a funny name.
That name is joke worthy.
It is. It's joke. It's a joke name.
Yep.
All right. So I guess now's the perfect time for you to go ahead and do a recap too while we're at it.
Yes. Episode was a bit more of a peaceful one, as we did reunite with the properly, and it was the case where it was going to be those who had volunteered were going to be let off as continued. There was also Lacus being escorted back to safety after being returned. I want to say this episode or previous set of episodes to her fiance. And a part of this episode was people deciding whether they're going to continue to be part of the conflict and deciding whether they were civilian volunteers or actually officially joining the military.
I'm pretty sure the Lacus stuff was the previous episode, because I think if we did see her last episode, it was on the ship where she was actually being sent away from her fiance.
That's what I mean, being escorted back to safety after she was brought back to her fiance. In the previous set, not the last episode. So she's just getting somewhere now, is hypothetically at less risk.
As much risk as anybody can be in space.
Exactly. But Kira was working on the repair stuff for the mobile suit Gundam that he has been piloting. And it ended with the abrupt choice of Flay to join the military instead of just be a volunteer, followed by the rest of the children and Kira at the end.
Bless you. All right.
And that was really what I recall. I could be missing something because it has been a week, but...
Yeah, well, still better memory than me. I have to keep a notepad full of these things. Speaking of which, I do have Theta's thoughts from the last time around. Specifically only about episode 11, though. So, we are on which episode again? 13, right?
13.
Yeah. So, I believe... Well, I think I've written it out here. So, as it turns out, this is going to be the penultimate return to my thoughts before, and then only for episode 11. If memory serves, Griff and I then went on to record the next 4 episodes back to back in order to try catching up after he was away for a month, and then he retired right after. So, expect another one of these in a couple of weeks, and after that, all new thoughts. Same goes for the
Hell yeah.
board. Same goes for the board. Next update will make us up to date completely. I can stop updating that little sideboard, and I can just delete the cover that I put on top of the actual board that I left off with.
Love it.
Let's see. Episode 11, though. The first thing LaFlaga says in episode 11 is that Bad Girl's comment is nothing more than an analogy, and should be taken off the record. Bad Girl said that Kira didn't understand how much his actions put the ship in danger. And how is that an analogy? Anyways, he's reading the law book while acting as Kira's defense, so I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't taking this all that seriously, and is putting up a half-assed defense, knowing that they won't do anything to him. He was, after all, the one that warned Kira to put a lock on the Gundam so that no one could use it, blatantly going against his own hierarchy in the process. Also, he cites Article 4 of the Corsica Treaty against them when mentioning how they took a hostage. But Bad Girl then cites Article C as an exception, measures during wartime. Now, I don't know if she's making it up, as LaFlaga says he's never heard of it, and can't find it in the book he's holding. If it is real, it paints a very dark picture of the world we are in. There is combat going on 24/7 in our real world, and while there are certainly hostages being taken as a reality, we've never gone so far as to make a legal change to acknowledge that you just have to do some inhumane things sometimes. To the opposite, in fact. At our idealist best, we declared it an absolute crime. In the world of Seed, it's gotten so bad that they put wiggle room into their laws to make an exception for the war. The alternative case that I could imagine is that she is making it up, and they are just going to an extreme to try and scare Kira into not doing things like this again, as others might not be as reasonable as they are, even as unreasonable as he may think they are being.
I think it's very possible that we are looking at a reality where the wiggle room has been put in if the conflict has gotten to such a scale.
Like I said, it paints a dark picture of the world.
It absolutely does.
Alright. I think Flay's snapping in episode 11 was due to her realizing that she was right. Kira isn't fighting his best, and now she knows why. I also think that's the resolve she found in the end as well. I'm sort of imagining a Reverse Flash scenario. In that Reverse Flash makes Barry's life a living hell in order to make him a better hero. I foresee Flay doing everything she can to kill Kira's friends in order to drop that barrier that's preventing him from giving it his all in a fight. I suppose the irony there is that we also saw him lose that barrier in that episode as well, while thinking about Flay, meaning that if that is her plan, then she is going to be inflicting harm without any payoff.
I think that might be her. I think that's very much possible, but I don't.
Remember, only episode 11. Its thoughts only come from episode
100%.
11.
Huh, I, I don't think that realization was there. I think I think it was just coincidence, and then she realized it afterwards.
Okay. I know you had your own little turnaround on Flay last episode when she joined the military, so. But again, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking during last episode because I didn't say it until like episode 16 or something. So I don't remember until I remember.
Exactly.
Alright, last thought here. I suppose, if anything, this is just another tally in the Flay was right column. We don't know what a coordinator is capable of. Kira was just a fast programmer. Otherwise, just like any other natural. Suddenly, he's a battle master with accelerated reflexes. Exactly the thing Flay was warning everyone about.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you have to know that if someone's on your side, you can be weary, but you have to have a certain level
Of
of
suspicion?
of not even suspicion, but knowing when to trust someone.
So you're saying we shouldn't be suspicious of those around us that have superpowers?
You can be suspicious, but you can be suspicious and trust someone.
I
If
don't.
someone
I literally
hasn't
don't think you
proven
can.
wrong,
Those are two different things.
if someone has yet to prove you wrong, you can give people the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying we should give the serial killer the knife because he's been fighting on our side this whole
You don't know
time.
if he's a serial killer at that point.
I'm not saying I'm using a hypothetical example of the serial killer who is
100%.
protecting us in the zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
He's always fought on our side. Surely we can trust him with the knife.
If it means you are going to live longer, yes.
You know, until he kills you because he was a serial killer. All I'm
Hmm.
saying is that all she did was say, I don't trust him. He's got superpowers that the enemy is using to kill us with. And
Yep.
then we find out that he actually has superpowers that he's killing people with.
It's true, but that's mm, that's a whole nother argument. That's like saying people who are exceptionally trained should never be trusted.
Well, are they exceptionally trained to kill?
In this world, that's what it is.
Well,
But
look, you said trust them and be suspicious at the same time, which
yeah,
is
you
literally
can
you
have
cannot be
trust
both.
and be cautious about a person.
You can't be suspicious and cautious at the same time.
There is levels of trust.
I don't feel like that's. I don't know. I feel like Flay is right.
It's like the idea where, like, if you go to a Subway, you trust them to make a sandwich. You wouldn't
Not to be a
trust them to
pedophile?
watch. You wouldn't trust them to watch your kid. That's a level of trust that varies.
I don't know. There's a lot of subways at gas stations, so a lot of parents will go use the bathroom and tell their kid to sit in the subway.
That's on you if you have that level of trust with that person, and you're a brave soul.
Oh no, Jared's visiting all the locations today.
Oh,
You know, we've had a lot of time to let that joke bake, so
it's true.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said she was right. What I meant was that she was right that all coordinators apparently do have these powers,
Yes,
which
yes,
means that at
agreed.
some point Lacus could bust out with some Matrix ass moves. Who knows?
I think Lacus's thing is she's just supernaturally charismatic.
She's a coordinator.
That's what I mean.
I just mean
I think
Flay's
that's
whole
her
thing
thing.
was all coordinators have this ability. I mean, one has to wonder why the fuck Atherin or any of the other Gundam pilots haven't done this yet, considering they are all coordinators too.
I don't think we've hit plot convenient moments for them to do their cool stuff. I think that's all it is.
I'm gonna say this, not because it's a spoiler, because I mean, I don't think it's a thing. It comes from a place I don't even know, so it's
Yep.
not really a spoiler because a spoiler implies I know something. I don't, and
Yep.
it's also strewn throughout our Discord in the from past comments that Kira's nickname is like Jesus Yamato or something like that because he's filled with plot conveniences, apparently.
Oh, it makes sense.
So, I don't know. I don't know. You're saying the other guys aren't gonna get it. Well, maybe they're not. maybe, maybe this is just the Kira show all the way down.
It's completely possible that they don't.
Well, I mean, that's all I had to say about episode 11 for some reason here in episode 13. I don't feel like there's any reason to go back to the board, because as I
No,
said, the
I
board
agree.
hasn't changed and won't change for another 3 episodes.
I agree.
I do think I'm gonna have to. I should have made screenshots. I know of a screenshot thing that I did with Griff that I'm gonna have to do with you. I'm just gonna have to recreate that somehow. We'll do it when it comes up.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember when it comes up. Otherwise, any other thoughts before we go into this episode?
No?
All right. Well, like I said, we go ahead and get started then. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
全艦密集陣形にて迎撃態勢。アークエンジェルは動くな。そのまま本艦につけ。バルキューレ1、バルキューレ2発進。N ジャマー展開。アンチビーム爆雷用意。
It seems like we've done a skip to a different encounter.
No, remember the Archangel joined the fleet? They were talking about going to Antarctica.
Yes, yep, that is correct.
And then the other 2 ships showed up.
Yep,
The 2 that have
now
been
I
chasing them
recall.
as well. By the way, you said that you weren't sure they were conveyor belts. We literally saw that one turning. I think literally when you turned your head for a second. It was there.
I didn't see it.
Yes, but everyone else did. See, there you go, our 2 ships.
Beautiful.
Oh, I know I wrote a whole breakdown about this scene. By this scene, I mean literally that what you just saw, her standing in front of that locker.
Got it.
志願兵です。ホフマン大佐が受領し、私が承認いたしました。
At least that came from a captain, which is someone of a higher rank.
Of a different ship.
目標はあくまでも足。
True.
他に時間を食うなよ。
Why are they calling it the leg?
I've already joked about that all the last few episodes. Because it's got legs, for one thing. And believe me, it knows how to use them. So much to say about that scene. Like, you know what? Maybe I'll say it now, and then I'll probably say it again when I do my breakdown from the future. She's standing in front of a locker with Kira's jumpsuit in it. Or assumedly some jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And my breakdown of the scene was that she was considering getting in the Gundam herself.
I agree with that statement. However,
she doesn't know if Kira's left the ship or not. Because she's not aware that Kira has given up on the whole getting on the shuttle thing. So she thinks he's gone. She's sitting there considering, do I get in the Gundam? What do I do now that Kira's gone? And Kira walks into the room and she's like, oh, thank God, Kira, you're still here. That's my breakdown of the scene.
The thing is, she stopped him from getting to the suit faster.
Eh. In the timing of things, I find it to be negligible. But I've done whole breakdowns where, like, I don't think I went over it with you because I didn't want to do them again.
Yeah.
Where I like did the whole, okay, Kira spends this much time talking to one person, and then this much time talking to another person. Breaks down to about a little over a minute. Could they have won the battle if Kira was out there a minute earlier? Maybe. You can make the argument that maybe he could have. That sort of thing. This is the length of a hug, though. I don't think it's negligible in my eyes.
Yeah.
Claw grip mode.
Okay, Claw Grip still has big cannon. Claw Grip isn't as useless.
I don't know, still fairly useless.
確かに見事なモビルスーツですな。だが敵では厄介なだけだ。あの4機何としても落とせよ。
フレイ、なんで？
あなた行っちゃったと思ったから。私みんな残って戦ってるのに、最初に行った私だけ。だから私が。
まさかフレイ、そんなバカなことを。モビルスーツなんて無理だよ。君みたいな女の子が。
だって私。
I mean, you just wait till we get to the Universal Century, the OG Gundam. You like your misogyny here in the 2000s, wait till you get to see old school misogyny.
Girls don't fly Gundams.
だからフレイの思いの分もさ、もう逃げない。決めたんだ。しょうがないよ。この戦争を終わらせなきゃ。
Hey, that's what Flay was saying a couple episodes ago.
なら私の思いはあなたを守るわ。
フレイ。
Here we go. The fact that he had that look for a little too long is funny.
Well, I looked at them kissing and I glanced over at you and you looked unhappy for a good minute.
I am perfectly fine with Flay as the love interest if she's not if she's going to actually become more of a reasonable person.
That's why they call her Reasonable Flay.
It's true.
ならばせめてこの戦闘でその自説証明して差し上げよう。
See, that provides merit to the claw because you hold on and you shoot a vital part.
Conversely, it's a ranged weapon. You don't have to hold on to a thing with a ranged weapon. But if I put a gripper claw at the end of a gun, so
it makes the gun look cooler, though.
Does it? Tolmos is the name you just saw said there, is the main ship from Gundam 00, which is a different series in a different universe. So I can only assume that it's a callback or a call out.
This is clearly an example where if Kira was out there, the damage wouldn't have been as much.
Arguably not, considering to the previous thing of he does not focus on anybody but Atherin.
True, yeah.
It'd be the other fleet all over again.
She was doing so good.
She's following orders. Don't get on her about this. She's been told to stay out of the fight. They're sacrificing themselves to get her to Earth. She's supposed to literally leave.
But it seems like it seems like she hasn't left.
なんだと自分たちだけ逃げ出そうという気か
敵の狙いは本艦です。本艦が離れなければこのまま艦隊は全滅です。
アラスカは無理ですが、この位置なら地球軍制空圏内へ降りられます。突入限界点まで持ちこたえればジンとザフト艦は振り切れます。閣下。
Also, why wasn't there an active line to the commanding ship at times in this envoy?
Somehow they are an active line to the commanding ship.
No, because they had to call.
No, because he's commanding all the other ships. You want him to be focused? He's focusing on the people that are fighting. They're trying to get their secret weapon down to Earth without getting it destroyed. Which means not having it engage in a fight. I gotta say, before you started reacting to this, I didn't know Marius had to be defended. Those cans be great. If only they had claws on them.
I know. Every ship should have claws on all of their guns.
So all your stuff about Kira going out there is completely negated. Because he wouldn't have been out there to begin with. Even LaFlaga can't launch.
降下シークエンス再確認。有助剤ジェル噴出口テスト。
俺に怒鳴ったってしゃあねえでしょ。ああ、このまんまズルズルよりはいいんじゃ
Are
ねえ
gel dispensers to deal with the heat of the atmosphere?
I assume so.
あの4機が問題です。
坊主
ストライクで待機します。まだ第一戦闘配備ですよね。
I mean, they called it a blade of gel, so assuming they're meant to burn away.
若い頃から戦場とか戦争なんかに浮かされちまうと後の人生きついぜ。
Did you ever notice that those are conveyor belts?
Are they? It's interesting.
Yeah.
That would explain a lot of stuff about how you move down the corridors in a zero-G environment.
True.
Good on you for noticing.
I figured we should just put it out there so people know that we're aware.
Yeah. I think I saw something similar, which from Mercury. Except those were on the walls, flat, not like sandpaper belts. That's what those look like.
Got it.
本艦隊はこれより大気圏突入限界点までのアークエンジェル援護防衛戦に移行する。厳しい戦闘であるとは思うが、かの艦は明日の戦局のために決して失ってはならぬ艦で。
I wonder if we're gonna see one of the Gundams get destroyed in the next couple episodes.
地球軍の底力を見せてやれ。アークエンジェルが動く。
No clue. As I've stated before, we're fastly approaching the episodes I have no idea about. I mean, this is basically the fight that involves everybody we know so far. Except for the Supreme Council, of course. They're not here.
And he has the flower. I love it. And there we go. Looks like my day just opened up a bit more.
What's that?
Oh, because of a couple cancellations, I have the rest of the day off.
Huh, well, that's good. I mean, unless you love
Yeah,
your
no, I don't
job.
mind.
Oh, you said it was 3 ships. I thought there was only 2.
デュエルマスター先陣隊列を突破メネラオスが応戦中落ちろ落とせ何としてもここから先へ
I'm also now curious if Gundams are equipped for entry into through atmosphere.
ギリまで俺たちを出せ何分ある
何がバカな俺たちカタログスペックではストライクは単体でも効果可能です
Well, I mean, if you saw the screen, that just answered your question.
どうしてあなたそこに
このままじゃメネラウスも危ないですよ艦長
Make a call.
フェーズ3までに戻れスペック上は大丈夫でもやった人間はいないんだ中がどうなるかは知らないぞコードとタイムは常に注意しろ
はい
バジルール少尉ここで本艦が落ちたら第8艦隊の犠牲の全てが無駄になります
He should not be captain.
You and me were on
She
different
is
sides of
watching-
this war.
She is watching all this shit happen and not making any moves to make it more successful.
She's doing as commanded by her superior officers.
もう一つ
And not taking risks.
ベルグラード撃沈限界点まであと5分カカこれ
I
Like you said, we're
sincerely
falling on
disagree
different
with
sides
the
of this
protest.
war. You're
Yes,
on
we
Bad
are.
Girl's side. You're literally on the person
Yes.
with bad in their name side.
100%.
And I'm on the side of the person whose inspiration is the commander of the Red October from the movie Red October.
キラヤマト行きます
Yep.
アークエンジェルより X105 ストライクレビウス0発進なんだとこの状況でか
See, nobody expected that they were going to do that. Seems like a bad move.
疲れてるのか
And yet your person's like, have them do it.
ようやくお出ましか
Wow.
Ignore the heroic music while I deride your comments.
この傷のね
デュエル装備が
降下シークエンスフェーズ2に行こう そうマジでそろそろやばいぜ
As opposed to how dangerous it was before.
Yeah, I was about to say, really? Now it's becoming dangerous?
大気圏突入限界点まであと4分もうやめろ機体が重い
Remember, they live in space all the time. Gravity means heavy, I assume.
ロー
It's
ラ
true.
19接近ガモフ出過ぎだぞ何をしてるゼルマンここまで追い詰め聞くことは元場といえば我ら足つきはくっそー
There we go. I will also openly say this. I don't think that either of them are equipped to be to be in a position of controlling that ship.
Well, no, we saw that in episode 2. Remember, all the command staff were killed in a bombing. They're literally the only people that were there. Well, the one was the only person that was there. The other one came later and happened to be of a higher rank.
ここまで来てあれに落とされてたまるか。艦長、フェーズ3突入限界点まで2分を切ります。友情大ジェル展開用意。
ゼロとストライクを呼び戻せ。
くそ、限界か。ダメだ、戻れない。
ハリバート提督。
I think I called
Well,
that.
Rip Zellman. We
Yep.
knew you for 10 episodes.
The kid'll make it.
Well, bye-bye, Halberton.
Yep.
We knew you for 2 episodes. Well, the ship. I mean, I can't remember the Admiral's name. It's funny. I was thinking about doing that for Zellman. Zellman was a good guy. You saw the Gundam pilot cry out for him when they saw him die.
Get back to the bloody ship.
Gotta respect it. You think you're dying and falling to Earth, but you're still gonna keep shooting. God damn it, if only this gun had a claw on it, though.
That's true. Claws save everything. You mother, don't take that shot.
There's Ellie, who we've seen the entire show so far.
You motherfucker. And he's not fast enough.
Yeah, so that's the one part that makes it hard to continue to like Yazik. But the thing is, though, you heard it in Yazik's own voice. He said, "Don't do it on that shuttle R," and Yazik goes, "Cowardly soldiers." Yazik isn't entertaining the concept that there's civilians on board because it came from a military ship. It's kind of confusing. It makes sense. It's a confusing series of events. Because you remember that they took the civilians off of the Archangel, shuttled them to the military ship, and then we're going to escort them out to Alaska base. So all of those civilians shouldn't be on that military ship. That shuttle should be full of evacuating soldiers.
1,000,000%. However, you don't shoot the escape shuttle at risk of it being...
I'll comment after this.
Yeah.
多くの人の思いを受け、今ここにいることの意味を子供たちは様々に思い悩む。新たな出会いがもたらすものはさらなる苦悩か、それとも救いの糸口か。次回機動戦士ガンダムシード、それぞれの孤独。闇の中駆け抜けろガンダム。
Respective solid.
See, as much as you don't like her, she still tells you what's going to happen next time on the previews.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, remember that the law has changed so that we can legally take hostages in a wartime scenario. Who's to say that we even give a shit about civilians trying to retreat?
Sure. Yeah.
It's the whole
Fair
dark
enough.
world discussion we had before.
You're not wrong.
Maybe there's a legal defense for I thought they were soldiers now.
Well, if anything, no, the legal defense would be temporary insanity.
Actually, the probable legal defense I've seen throughout most sci-fi is that ship was carrying arms. Because you can't prove it after the fact. For all you knows that they were trying to, last chance, send armaments down to the Earth forces to reinforce what you consider to be an unlawful, siege or something.
So I accept that as a very powerful defense. But I think if you needed like an actual official defense that wasn't coming up with like well, you can't prove this is wrong, I think temporary insanity would be the route to go because he's clearly lost it.
I actually don't think any defense is necessary, given the fact that who's going to charge him?
You're not wrong.
The only
You're not
the
wrong.
only position he would be charged from is if he got captured. And if he got captured, I'm pretty sure he'd be guilty of more crimes than this. Remember, he was there at Heliopolis.
But Heliopolis would probably be more of... I know Rico's not the term, but it would be more of a larger trial.
Sure. I can't think of it either. Best example I can think of is Nuremberg, in that you'd be held responsible for the orders that you followed. But then
Correct.
he would still be responsible for the orders that he followed.
Yeah, so you're responsible for the orders that you followed, but you're not responsible for the consequences of the giving of the order.
No, you're responsible for the consequences.
No. So what I'm saying is you're responsible for your actions and the orders you followed, but their consequences are on those who gave the orders.
No, I believe you're still held responsible for taking part in the action. A couple episodes back, I did a whole breakdown about why it was unlawful to take hostages, and in that I also gave the not the war crimes. There's the international the world court's definition of something.
Yeah, 100%. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
But just after that one, I also covered the handbooks of many different militaries around the world, and how they have in them the obligation to only follow moral orders, and that you have an obligation to disobey immoral orders.
Correct. But at the same time, you will not be punished as much for following immoral orders as you will be for giving immoral orders knowingly.
Sure, but you'd still be,
Yeah.
execution range, I would have to assume.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Like, once it passes a certain point, it's basically arguing oranges and mandarins. It's the same damn thing.
I mean, you can only get so many death penalties.
It's true.
I guess you could only get so many death penalties that matter. Because I guess technically you could always have the hope that you could die and be revived at least once.
Or there is the chance that you go through the and you don't actually die, which means if the penalty was served.
Well, technically, no. I have read a number of times where they've been performing execution, where they failed to kill the person, and they just fucking try again. Failing to kill somebody who has been given the death sentence
You're not wrong.
for an execution, I'm The times I'm thinking of, I can't remember like specific names of people or anything, but they were all like deadly injections. Those sort of things where like there was an infection caused, or they were in a lot of pain and they had to stop, or something like that, and they did just try again. There was a problem with the machine. I don't remember. There is no. I guess maybe it's just a misconception that if you fail to get killed at an execution, that you can get off scot-free.
That reminds me of there's a phenomenal movie that plays around with the idea of messing with the injections. Law-abiding citizen.
Oh yeah. It's not Gerard. What's his name?
It is.
Gerard
It's
Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I've seen parts of the movie all the way through once, and then I've seen the whole movie once. Yeah, where the people kept breaking into his house, his wife, kill his daughter,
Yeah.
and then the one guy makes a plea bargain and gets off free, but it's the guy who actually did all the murder stuff, and then he indicts his partner for everything else. And he's like, well, I guess justice was served. It's like, man, we got everybody we could get.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, because, he dug a hole in the back of his prison. He pulls a Shawshank, but not to get out.
To get in.
Well, just so I can have an alibi if I was in prison the whole time.
Exactly.
So I could make all these contraptions, dress up like a cop, do all these other things.
It's true.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Back to the episode, I like that we're showing more risks being taken because people are now having more trauma responses instead of like calculated responses.
Like what?
Like with Yazek just straight up being like, I'm murking everybody. I'm like, he's clearly not in a state to be flying that suit.
Well, the whole episode he's screaming out for the strike, which is Kira's Gundam's name. Because remember, he got cut in the midsection of his Gundam last time, and then got busted to the point where he's got this giant wrap over his face. So he's just angry. He's angry mode.
Oh, completely. But like because of that trauma response, it was that's why I think Kira being sent out was the correct call.
Literally, Yazek would have had nothing to respond to if Kira wasn't sent out.
But he would have kept on looking for Kira and causing more and more damage.
I don't know how many ships are left in the fleet. The fleet seems dead. How many other things would Yazek have attacked?
There has to have been more things out there because the fleet's big. There has to have been small ships that would have got away.
Okay, well, if the fleet's so big that a bunch of ships... If the fleet is too big to fail, then what would Yazek's rampaging really have mattered if the strike was launched or not launched then?
Fair enough.
How many people did Kira's leaving actually save?
That is something that we don't know the answer to, so it's something that I think we will see.
Arguably, here's the devil's advocate I'd make.
Yep.
If Kira didn't launch, he wouldn't have been around. Sorry, I was about to use another name for the Archangel that's not even from this show. He wouldn't have been around the Archangel to have lured Yazek in, to have then Yazek be present to shoot the shuttle. It's Kira's presence between him and Yazek himself that brings the attention to the shuttle.
Possibly.
And if I'm arguing for who should die and who shouldn't die, I'm going to lean towards the soldiers who signed up to be here on the military combat ships that are fighting, and not the ship filled with civilians and small children that Yazek gets drawn out to because Kira launched.
That I do agree with. I'm fine with what with what our captain did to children in the early episodes. But now that there's soldiers present, I agree.
Right, so Bad Girl's response to launch the weapons led to Ellie's death.
I don't know about that.
Whereas Marius's choice not to launch the weapons would have saved Ellie's life.
I disagree with that. I think Ellie's life would have been lost either way based off the way the battle was going.
Once again, all we can tell is what did happen. And it's
Exactly.
Kira's presence which drew Yazik out, which then led him to shoot the shuttle. Arguably, actually, the sequence of events I see playing out in my head is that Yazik attacks the ship the shuttle is in to get at the Archangel, believing that the strike is still on the Archangel. The ship launches the shuttle to save them. In the case they believe that they're going to go down. Now, Yazik, as we saw before, is above the ship. So it's above here. The shuttle bay is below the ship. Shuttle launches, goes away. The destroying, or the ship that's being destroyed is still between Yazik and the shuttle, meaning that the ship would be destroyed, shuttle gets away. Because it doesn't draw Yazik's attention. It's obviously not meddling with his ability to attack, plus his focus is to get to the Archangel to attack it. So once that giant command ship is out of the way, he's shooting right for the Archangel. Not some other ship that's going off in a different direction.
We'll never know.
Well, there are alternate universe stories, so who the hell knows? I'm just saying that Bad Girl was in the wrong.
And I'm just saying that I disagree.
I know you are. But what am I? Anyway, any other breakdowns about this episode before we wrap up today?
No other breakdowns.
Alright, well, I guess Rip Zellman, and otherwise I guess we end here for the day, because I'm pretty sure you do not remember the Admiral's name that you would go for a salute for.
Oh, not one bit.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the board, but we didn't bring up the board today. Anyway, I believe that is it for us today. Once again, I am Theta. This is Justin. We've been Stoneface Reactions. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?